Part 21. The Koi Fairy Wife is Sweet as Honey, Love from the Koi Goddess. Author, Su Xiaozhaji. Chapter 202. Boom. Jin Li, who was standing on a boulder for an action scene, stumbled and almost fell. Su Hexiang, who was standing opposite, moved for a while, and the director also quickly asked, "What's the matter with you, Jin Li?" Jin Li's eyes widened in surprise, a little dazed. I'm a little uncomfortable, can I rest for a while?" she asked the original director. Director Yuan nodded. Lan Ting hurried over to help Jin Li to the side and sat down. No one thinks that Jin Li is a coquettish girl. Mrs. Jinguo is not the first day to start filming. At the beginning, everyone in the crew felt that Jin Li, a girl who was very squeamish at first sight, and someone who was taken care of by investors without any concealment, was afraid that she would not be so easy to deal with when she was acting. But soon everyone realized that they thought too much. Jin Li wasn't as squeamish as she appeared to be. Usually filming action scenes like this, even an old actor like Wen Jiming, who is used to filming, Wen Jiming, is exhausted all day long, but Jin Li, an almost pure rookie, persevered and didn't stop at all. I cried tired. For so long, Jin Li has never delayed any shooting progress because of her personal affairs. What's more, the whole crew has been exposed to Jin Li's light this time, and the quality of food and accommodation has been improved. So this time she made a sudden mistake and offered to take a break. No one felt suspicious that something was wrong, but they were a little concerned about her body. Jin Li sat on the reclining chair and nodded at the third wave of people who came to care about her. She felt that this was not the way to go, and said to Lan Ting, "I'm a little tired and want to take a rest. If there is another person, please block me." Lan Ting was worried. "Do you really need to let the doctor see it?" Jin Li shook his head. "I just didn't sleep well last night, take a rest and drink a glass of sugar water later." After she said that, she closed her eyes, and her soul sank into the sea of consciousness. Just scared the fish to death. When filming the action scenes, she realized that there was a thunderous sound in the sea, causing her legs to become weak and unable to stand firm. "What's the situation?" Jin Li hurriedly looked over. The sea of consciousness is still the same. Above the blue spiritual spring, the golden giant cocoon is quietly suspended in the air, and there are more cracks on it than before. So, what happened to that thunder just now? Jin Li thought about it inexplicably, and remembered that Tiandao had done this once not long ago. She asked directly, "Dad Tiandao, do you have something to say to me?" The rolling thunder sounded again, as if responding to Jin Li's words. Is something wrong?" Jin Li hurriedly asked. "What? Am I going back to heaven? Or do you want me to do something here?" A golden lightning pierced the sky and landed in the north. Huh? Jin Li's consciousness swept away and sensed that it was the direction of the imperial capital. Imperial city? What happened to the capital? She wanted to keep asking, but there was no movement in the sky. Jin Li. "Dad Tiandao, don't just give half of the tips. The capital is so big. There are so many things. How do I know what you're talking about?" She didn't give up and wanted to continue to ask, but no matter how Jin Li's consciousness asked, the breath of heavenly Dao was completely hidden and could never be found again. Jin Li. She let out a long sigh. Something must have happened. And it's not trivial. Even Tiandao's father reminded himself twice in a row. However, she clearly did not sense the ominous breath. What will it be? The Koi Fairy Wife is Sweet as Honey, Love from the Koi Goddess. Author, Su Xiaozhaji. Chapter 203. Jin Li was puzzled, but she really couldn't find the answer. In the end, she concluded that the imperial capital probably had her own chance, so Dad Tiandao reminded him. I think Jin Li, who found the truth, sat up from the reclining chair, saying that he had enough rest. The time inside the consciousness sea is different from the outside world. She is only inside for a short while, and more than an hour has passed outside. To outsiders, it was Jin Li who slept on the chair for so long. If it wasn't for her calm demeanor and steady breathing, as if she was really just sleeping, Lan Ting was so nervous that she almost called an ambulance. After lunch, Jin Li, who repeatedly said that he was alright, began to shoot normally. Su Hexiang looked at her seriously and asked, "Can you do it?" Obviously it means caring, but I prefer to use a questioning tone. Jin Li now fully understands Miss Su Hexiang's routine. She smiled, "Don't worry, I can kill a cow with one punch when I'm in good shape now." Su Hexiang. Where can a girl describe herself like this? Su Hexiang complained in her heart. However, it soon became clear that what Jin Li said was true. When the incident happened, Jin Li was hanging Via and Su Hexiang for a play. The filming of a scene was just finished, Via was falling, Jin Li hurry up, it seemed that he was still 3 meters away from the ground. Su Hexiang slowed down, there were still 5 or 6 meters above the ground. Someone on the ground suddenly screamed, and then Jin Li heard several panicked shouts. What? When she looked back, she saw a sturdy scalper, rushing towards the studio in a frenzy. Several staff members on the road hurriedly avoided, the cow knocked down several instruments in a row, and did not mean to stop at all. When Jiming, who avoided to the side, looked at the direction the cow was running, and his expression changed, "Damn! There is the machine that hangs the coercion." Jin Li and Su Hexiang are still in the air. Others apparently saw it too. Several people rushed to the side and tried to lure the scalper away, but were rudely knocked away by the mad cow who didn't know why. Everyone's face turned pale. If the machine was hit, Jin Li and Su Hexiang, who had not yet landed, would most likely be very dangerous. Jin Li looked back at Su Hexiang, who was opposite, and saw that the girl was also pale, and she was obviously afraid, but she tried her best to show a calm expression on her face. No one could see Jin Li's movements clearly. They saw the Jin Li that was more than 2 meters above the ground, and they didn't know how to untie the safety rope on the body. The whole person was dressed in thin silver armor and fell to the ground lightly, just happened to meet the high-speed running over cattle. Several actresses couldn't help covering their eyes with their hands. In their minds, there was already a tragic scene of the delicate Jin Li being knocked away. Boom! The sound of flesh colliding sounded. Then, there was the sound of a behemoth falling to the ground. Then there is silence. Wait a minute, behemoth. Is there something wrong with this development? A few actresses were both curious and worried, but finally could not hold back. They quietly stretched out their fingers and looked over there. The tall silver figure stood there, and at her feet lay a scalper that was huge compared to her body. Several people? Who can tell them what happened in the 2 seconds they just covered their eyes? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Koi Fairy Wife is sweet as honey, love from the Koi Goddess. Author, Su Xiaozhaji. Chapter 204. Jin Li blinked, looked around at the people who were staring at him dully for a week, and tilted his head in confusion. What are you doing looking at me so strangely? Everyone. As a well-informed actor, Wen Jiming was the first to react. He looked at Jin Li's slender and weak wrists, and then at the big yellow ox lying on the ground weighing thousands of pounds, and swallowed, just now. The poor actor was so excited by this incredible scene that he couldn't even speak. Seeing that he was looking at the cow on the ground, Jin Li thought he was worried about the cow, and said very considerately, "Don't worry, I'm not dead, I'll act in a measured way." Wen Jiming. Who cares so much about this? Just as he was about to say something, a scream came out of his ear. What? interrupted Wen Jiming. I saw the dumbfounded Lan Ting rushing over like a gust of wind, ran to Jin Li's side, took her hand up and down, looked at the whole person, and asked repeatedly, Jin Li, are you alright? Your hand, does it hurt? Are you scared? Onlookers. They all looked at the ox on the ground that was said to be dead. Is there something wrong with your focus on this assistant? How do you see it? It's this cow who is in trouble, not Jin Li. Jin Li patted the assistant's head and comforted her. I'm fine, I'm fine. How could it be possible for a stupid bull with only brute force to hurt me? Lan Ting breathed a sigh of relief. After all the worries in her head passed, her IQ and common sense finally came online. Then, she widened her eyes, looked at Jin Li stupidly, and then looked at the scalper on the ground, showing the same expression as Wen Jiming, and asking the same question, you, this cow, how are you, did it? Jin Li followed the eyes of the crowd and glanced at the cow, and then looked at their expressions, and finally reacted with hindsight in her heart. Oh, I forgot all of a sudden, these are weak humans. This ordinary scalper, who can only use brute force, is a troublesome problem in their eyes. Jin Li said without any guilt, oh, didn't I say it before? I can kill a cow with one fist. Everyone who knew what you were saying was true. We all thought you were just bragging. No, that's not the point. Why can you say so naturally, I can kill a cow with one punch? Normal people can't do it, right? Facing the horrified eyes of everyone, Jin Li thought for a while, touched her chin, opened her mouth and started to make up, when I participated in the thrilling No Man's Island before, didn't I say that I am a member of Suanman, and I have strength? Is it big? That episode of the thrilling uninhabited island is still one of the classic variety shows that netizens talk about, and definitely some people have watched it. Everyone thought back, yes, when Jin Li was on the show, she showed amazing power. But that's just a lift. In addition, Jin Li's appearance is too deceptive, and everyone has selectively forgotten this. Now it's true, one punch kills a cow. What a devilish power this is. Shu Ya, who was already a Buddhist, silently squeezed into the crowd again, intending to drown herself in the crowd. She felt that if God gave her another chance, she would never have dared to provoke Jin Li without knowing her life or death. Life is precious. Still have to love it. The Koi fairy wife is sweet as honey, love from the Koi goddess. Author, Sushao Zhaji. Chapter 205. Jin Li was surrounded by the entire crew, watching as if observing some cherished species. Rao Shi Jin Li has long been used to being surrounded by everyone's eyes, and this strange look still makes her a little uncomfortable. When Jiming pondered on the side, he also said earlier, how could a girl like Jin Li, who looks soft and delicate, work with a Hao? It seemed that he had gone wrong. Where is Jin Li, a slender and weak girl's home? The strength of this hand, I am afraid that if I hit 20 myself, there is no problem at all. While thinking about it, when Jiming began to worry again, his colleagues are all big bosses like Jin Li, it seems that his guess is correct, what a Hao is doing is indeed a very dangerous job. After almost 20 minutes, the owner of this big ox hurried over. The owner of the big ox is a middle-aged man in his 40s, who is an aboriginal in this scenic area. As soon as he saw the big ox lying on the ground, he exclaimed, half knelt on the ground and watched nervously, mumbling a dialect that everyone could not understand. After a while, seeing that big yellow ox didn't seem to be seriously injured, he stood up and looked at the actors in the crew crampedly. The middle-aged man was obviously a little nervous, and even his shoulders could not help shrinking slightly. Xiao Lu, an assistant of the original director, has followed the original director all the year round to make movies, and he understands some dialects. He walked over and communicated with the man for a long time, talking and gesturing, and finally made it clear. The man heard that his cow went mad, knocked down several machines in the crew, and almost injured people. His face turned pale with fright, and he kept bending over to apologize to everyone, while he kept looking at those who were watching. It's a very sophisticated and expensive instrument. The original director sighed. He has seen a lot of people of all kinds, how could he not know what this man is thinking? Afraid of worrying about breaking something. The original director's filming has always been strict. Although the actors and employees are a bit devilish, they never feel bad about buying equipment. The equipment of the crew is the top domestic product. A casual 7-figure starting price. It is not something that the countryman in front of him, who has been honestly living in this small mountain and forest all his life, can afford it. The man obviously thought so too. His lips were shaking as he looked at the swaying instrument. The original director clapped his hands. Go and check the equipment to see if there is any damage. Immediately, 2 staff members stepped forward to check it out. In fact, they didn't have any hope in their hearts. How strong is the impact of an adult big ox? Even if it is only knocked down from the side, these expensive machines will probably have to be scrapped. Jin Lee glanced at the worried expression of the original director, then turned to look at the uncle whose hands were tied together and was about to cry, blinked, and said, "Hey, I'm here to help too." Saying that, she trotted forward, grabbed the front of the 2 workers to the machine that fell on the ground, and reached out to help it up. The 2 staff members looked at the smiling Jin Lee, blushed embarrassedly, and began to check after they were calm. "What?" The 2 staff members looked back at the director and smiled in surprise. "Director, it didn't break, everything is normal." The original director breathed a sigh of relief. The man didn't quite understand what they said, but he could understand what they meant by looking at the expressions of the few people. Then he breathed a sigh of relief, and folded his hands together in a gesture of thanks. "For the update is over, please recommend the ticket. Today, my stepmother Lanting said that she wants to do a little activity. In the first 30 chapters of this chapter, 2 big treasures will be randomly selected to send notebooks around Jin Lee and Big Pig's trotters. 2 small lottery requirements, 1 fan value reaches apprenticeship. 2 not meaningless punching. Tomorrow, Lanting will announce the winning list in the comment area after the lottery. The Koi fairy wife is sweet as honey, love from the Koi goddess. Author, Su Xiaozhaji. Chapter 206. Next, Jin Lee helped the staff to lift the instrument that fell to the ground. Originally, she was not a girl to do such a thing, but everyone had seen Jin Lee's operation of killing a cow with 1 punch, and they dared not treat her as an ordinary girl. In this way, no one thinks there is anything wrong with her coming out to help. To everyone's surprise, these instruments that fell to the ground seemed to have fallen quite hard, and after looking carefully all the way, none of them fell into a major problem. There was only 1 camera, and 1 lens fell out and cracked. The original director gave it a distressed look. This is his baby. Not to mention the value of the camera, a single lens costs tens of thousands of dollars. However, the scene was messed up like this, and only 1 shot was broken, which was beyond the original director's expectations. When the staff helped everything up, the original director, who had a serious face the whole time, rarely showed a relaxed smile. The man who has been watching nervously sees the director Yuan looks like this, and can't help but breathe a sigh of relief, wiping the sweat from his forehead. He said something to his assistant Xiao Lu, and Xiao Lu asked the director, "He asked us if we had broken anything." Director Yuan looked at the man's dark face and rough palms, hesitated for a moment, and said, "Tell him that you are lucky this time, you didn't break anything, let him take the cow back and look at it later, don't go crazy and run out again. For a lens worth tens of thousands of dollars, it is not a big deal for him to spend his own money." Xiao Lu said the words to the man, and the man nodded at Yuan Dao and everyone, and kept saying something. Although I didn't understand it, everyone could roughly feel it. It should be words such as apology and gratitude. Jin Lee's hand is not too heavy, and after so long, The cow can slowly stand up. When the man left with the cow, Suhek Siang, who was standing on the side, walked up to Jin Li. "Thank you." Jin Li smiled and rolled her eyes. "No thanks, even if you're not on it, I'll block it." Suhek Siang is stubborn. "No matter what the reason is, it is a fact that you saved me." "All right." Jin Li thought for a while. "In that case, as a thank you, can I ask you to allow me to call you Susu in the future?" "Suhek Siang, whatever you want." UN director was holding his precious camera and looking around in distress, and suddenly cried out in surprise. Then, Jin Li saw that the other party looked at him with burning eyes, as if he was looking at some big baby that can automatically generate money. "Jin Li." She touched her arm without a trace. "What's the matter with you, UN Deo?" The original director said deeply, "I just checked the camera and found that the shots I took before are all there." Jin Li, "That's a good thing." The original director nodded. "Well, there is another one. I found that just now, the scene where you knocked down a cow with one punch was also recorded." Jin Li, "Ah." Director UN asked in a negotiating tone, "Jin Li, do you mind if you put this video online so that fans can see your heroic appearance?" Jin Li asked unsurely, "Will this kind of video be put on? Will it lose its powder?" The original director thought for a while, and his tone was certain. "Impossible." "Did the fans dislike when you showed your power in the thrilling No Man's Island before?" Jin Li thought about it for a while, and felt that this wave seemed to be worthwhile. "Okay, then let it go," she said generously. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Koi Fairy Wife is Sweet as Honey, Love from the Koi Goddess. Author, Sushao Zhaji. Chapter 207. Fans who are concerned about the crew and who are bored in their daily life suddenly found that the official Bochiao Mimi of the MRS Gene crew has been updated. The official blog of MRS Gene Guo's crew today, the real big brother and sister were photographed. Below is the video. Fans thought at first that this was just an ordinary trailer, or a trailer. Until they reach out and click the video. Hum. Upstairs is really illiterate, it's just lying, and I'm different, I rely on awesomeness. The crew is joking, this must be made by special effects. The special effects are arranged, but this time I believe that MRS Gene's crew has done a great job. The special effects in this video are the same as the real ones, and they are perfectly integrated with the environment. De Huang Niu's acting is good. Wow. Jin Li's punching down is so handsome, the action of jumping off the via is also very cool, but I think the visual effect of using a sword should be better at this time. At this moment, the fans did not realize what happened. After they were amazed at the past, they thought about it according to their normal thinking, and felt that this was a short film made by the crew to give fans some small benefits every day. Everyone laughed and forwarded it so that more people could see it. More netizens who saw it also retweeted it, and jokingly gave Jin Li the nickname Dolly Lee. No one took it seriously. Until a big guy shows up. This netizen, whose ID name is K, is a certified computer industry boss. Last time, he was the one who authenticated the netizen 6 million lottery ticket. Because this big guy often shares some dry goods on Weibo, he has a lot of fans himself, and the last incident also gathered an extra group of fans for him. After all, it can be regarded as a technical big V with a lot of die-hard fans. The boss has always maintained a cold and taciturn personality, and this time is no exception. K. After the identification, there is no trace of post-production in the video. Curious how this was filmed, or how Jin Li did it? At MRS Gene Guo Crew official blog. When this Weibo was posted, many fans saw it. Oh, video does not exist in the later stage. Big Brother K has appeared. It is said that there is no trace of post-production in the video of the crew. It is amazing. Oh, there really is no trace of post-production. Wait a minute, holy shit. Does this mean what I understand? At MRS Jean Guo Crew official blog. At MRS Jean Guo's official blog, what does it mean to have no post-production? At MRS Jean Guo's official blog, is this video real? K's Weibo was instantly popular, and was instantly seen by more netizens. Then the comment area of MRS Jean's official blog crew exploded. Countless netizens eyed him, asked what was going on. After the official blog posted the video, he began to hide, which made all the fans feel itchy. Of course, Lu Zhenjie also saw this Weibo. Since he finally figured out his mind, he naturally became more concerned about Jinli-related matters. If it weren't for the fact that he was so busy with work that he couldn't leave, he would definitely have flown to the location of the crew immediately to see Jinli. That very urgent feeling of wanting to meet my sweetheart, a strong and vigorous emotion, it's hard to describe. Lu Zhenjie described himself helplessly, like a impulsive teenager. The koi fairy wife is sweet as honey, love from the koi goddess. Author, Sushao Zheji. Chapter 208. But this feeling is not unexpectedly bad. Even Lu Zhenjie felt that because of this impulse and concern, he seemed to be much younger. Of course, he noticed the news related to Jinli on the internet. He clicked on the video, watched it, and then? Of course Lu Zhenjie also saw what K said, but he didn't trust a stranger so much, but called another person. The reply there was very fast, and it was the same as what K said: there is no trace of post-production. That is, the video is real. It fell from the air more than 2 meters high, unscathed, and knocked over a big ox with a fluttering punch. Are all true? Lu Zhenjie, who was sitting quietly in the chair, suddenly remembered the perverted thoughts that he had secretly had before. Why lock up Jinli and hide it on an isolated island that no one can see? He shuddered suddenly, and was thankful that he hadn't carried out such a maddening measure. Otherwise, he thought, maybe he would intuitively feel what it means to be able to kill a cow with one punch. What an amazing girl I like. Lu Zhenjie thought with a deep expression, he has a beauty as dazzling as the sun, he has luck that ordinary people can't have, and he also has terrifying power that ordinary people can never have. Mr. Lu Ba, who has always been very confident in himself, never felt that he could do anything he couldn't accomplish. For the first time in his life, he had such a little doubt about himself. During the period when Lu Zhenjie was in a daze, this video has been spread countless times and has been successfully sent to the hot search by netizens. This is the second time the staff in charge of the official blog has received so many at. The first time was when the crew announced that Helen Mingji was played by Jinli, and was crazy at asked by fans if it was a joke. Thinking about it carefully, the official blog has had such a large amount of traffic twice, and the 2 hot searches were actually related to Jinli. The staff sighed with emotion at Jinli's strong topicality, and couldn't help but think about it. How long has it been? A few months ago, who cared about Jinli? Who would have known she would be today? A female star full of black material, if not fans or sunspots, other people really won't pay much attention. But in just a few months, she turned around so unexpectedly and beautifully. And it has reached a height that an ordinary person cannot reach. Hey, things are unpredictable. The staff sighed with emotion, and responded according to the original director's instructions. MRS Jean's crew official blog V, as you have seen with your own eyes, this is a real big brother and young lady. I refreshed the official blog page of the crew countless times, waiting for them to appear fans who refuted or recognized the rumors, and finally got the response they wanted. And this response, unsurprisingly, once again blew the crew's official blog. Along the way, there is also Jinli's Weibo. Countless fans ran to Jinli Weibo to leave a message. They were excited, and unbelievable. In fact, they didn't know what they were excited about. Oh my god. Jinli is awesome. Jinli is awesome. Jinli is awesome. How did you do it? That jumping down, is it light power? Before you said that you were a member of the Suanman, is this the strength of a member of the Suanman? Miss, you are too strong, do you lack any accessories, missing a follower, are there any errands? The koi fairy wife is sweet as honey, love from the koi goddess. Author, Sushao Zhaji. Chapter 209. It's so lively on Weibo, how could Jinli not see it? Looking at the comments of netizens, she thought to herself that the original director did not lie to me. Not powdered at all. Instead, it went up a lot. And fans are more active than usual. Thinking like this, Jinli happily sent a Weibo. Jinli is a koi acridine v, I have always been so good. Righteousness JPG. The following is a video released by the official blog of the crew. Fans have been waiting for a long time, but no one expected to receive such a reply. After being stunned for a second, they couldn't help laughing again. 23,333's proud and upright tone is my little fairy of Jinli, that's right. Ha 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 ha, I'm sure Jinli's Weibo is in charge of himself, no one can learn this unique narcissism and arrogance. Yes, yes, our Jinli has always been so powerful and cute. Suck Jinli, rub Jinli, blow Jinli. Jinli Jinli, are all the people in your Suanman so powerful? May I ask if your Suanman accepts adults? I can eat bitter spicy seeds. Jinli looked at the comments below and was attracted by some of the comments. For example, the question above about Suanman. Jinli said I don't know either. But she responded enthusiastically. Jinli is a koi acridine v, I don't know how the Suanman's apprenticeship is here, you can ask at Association official blog to find out the situation. What is the Daemin Association doing at this time? They are having a meeting. The theme of the meeting was circulated on the internet, this video from the scene of Jinli. The president of the Daemin Association did not sit on the top, but sat on the bottom. No way, the Taoist Association in name will come out to attend the event and be interviewed by the media in the open. Those who need to do chores are actually disciples who are not particularly talented within the Taoist sect. The real bosses, the elders of the various sects, and the real elite disciples spend most of their time devote themselves to their cultivation and cannot be distracted by these trivial matters. The matter of Jinli has been a buzz on the internet, and it has become a hot search again. How could a Taoist who is not out of touch with the world not know about it? The irritable old brother Xue Dao Kang, who was sitting on the top left, touched his well-kept beard and pondered, I originally thought that this little girl named Jinli was just a grandstanding liar, but this video, what do you think? The gentle and graceful layman Huijin said in a warm voice, if you jump from a height of 2 meters, even an entry-level disciple can do it. As for knocking over a scalper with one palm. She looked at the president of the Daemin Association, Zhengyan, can you possibly do it? Hu Zhengyan, the president of the Daemin Association, hesitated for a while before saying, if you use the power of the talisman, it will be no problem. Take advantage. That's pretty telling. Xue Dao Kang glared at the incompetent nephew, if the video is true, we didn't see that little girl using a talisman, but pure physical strength. He frowned, could it be that there is a hidden sect that hasn't been revealed to the public? The rest of the people nodded, thinking it was very possible. The Tianchi Dao Zhen Zhenjiang, who was wearing the gossip clothes, also said with a smile, if it is really a disciple of the hidden world, looking at Jinli's young age, it is obvious that the talent is amazing. We must strive for her to join our Daoist association. 4 more completed. Asking for a ticket, asking for a ticket. Yesterday, the big babies on the 5th and 15th floors of John Commentary remember to join the group to privately chat with landing address Duck. In addition, big babies, take a look at the top post in the book review area, and reward the 950th Tianatian and the 999th Qianj, and also add the address of the reader group private chat group owner Lan Ting, and send a weekly list notebook. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Koi Fairy Wife is Sweet as Honey, Love from the Koi Goddess. Author, Su Xiaozhaji. Chapter 210. Most of the people of Taoism are simple-minded monks. Their daily life is practice, practice, and practice. Except for occasionally taking a mobile phone to watch the latest news, so as not to make themselves too outdated, they have very little contact with the outside world. To put it another way, inside the daemon, there are a group of houses. Of course, what is different from the otaku and otaku among ordinary humans is that the otaku in the Taoist sect are generally good-looking, healthy, and strong in combat. They rejected Jinli before because they thought that the other party was a liar, acting outside under the name of Suanmen and ruining their reputation. But it's different now. Because they found out that Jinli is very likely to be a member of the Suanmen with serious inheritance and cultivation. Liars and their own people, this meaning is very different. Taoist people have a kind of affection for any young disciple, whether it is their own sect or not, similar to that of caring for cubs in some animal groups. It is because, nowadays, for the sake of social stability, the state deliberately weakens the existence and influence of various mysterious forces, so as not to cause panic. Under such circumstances, there are not many people who know the existence of Suanmen, and naturally there are even fewer who can go to apprentices to learn art. Every new disciple is a treasure in the hearts of these Suanmen seniors. Seeing the official blog of Jinliite Daemon Association, many netizens are watching the excitement. Ha ha ha, I am really a warrior. Did you forget that you also ran into the Taoist Association not long ago? I remember, Jinli will go to the Taoist Association to discuss Taoism after filming. Daemon Association, am I being too low-key, so I don't take my anger seriously? Betting on a pack of spicy sticks, the official blog of the Daemon Association will not pay attention to Jinli. Second, Jinli's heart is also really big. If I were the Taoist Association, I would be heartbroken and ignore people. However, to everyone's surprise, the official blog of the Daemon Association did not remain silent. Not only did he not remain silent, he also answered Jinli's question. Not only did he answer Jinli's question, but his tone was also very gentle. Daemon Association official blog V. We welcome all young people who are interested in Daemon culture and can come to Daemon Association to participate in exchanges at any time. At is Koi Acridine, after the filming, the Daemon Association welcomes Jinli to communicate. Jinli is a Koi Acridine V, okay. There is harmony between the two. Netizens waiting to tear up the plot. It is said that the Daemon Association is low-key and cold and does not like to talk. As imagined, what about the Shuangguan slap in the face where Jinli went to the Daemon to kill the quartet? Isn't the script you took on both sides a little wrong? Among a large number of comments, a netizen's precise speech was popular. Following Jinli all the way, I finally discovered the truth, that is, everything related to Jinli must not be considered with common sense after all, our Jinli is not an ordinary little fairy. The likes and comments below this comment directly passed 4 digits. Many people are chanting Old Iron 666, the truth is the truth and no problem. Jinli felt that the Taoist Association was pretty good. Although his brain is not very good, he is a bit irritable, but it is still very reasonable. Putting away the phone, Jinli stretched out comfortably, and when he looked up, he saw Wen Jiming looking at him with a complicated expression. Jinli? She touched her face and wondered, is there something wrong with me? The Koi Fairy Wife is Sweet as Honey, Love from the Koi Goddess. Author, Su Xiaozhaji. Chapter 211. Wen Jiming does have many questions. But he didn't know where to start. Seeing Jinli looking at him, he thought for a while, and then asked, "That, are you and how very familiar?" Ahau? Who is Ahau? Jin Li looked at Wen Jiming in confusion, saying, what are you talking about? Seeing Jin Li's confused expression, Wen Jiming was also a little dazed. He said, don't you know Ahau? Oh, his name is Long Hao, and he also wears a bracelet like yours. He pointed to Jin Li's left wrist. Long Hao? Oh. Jin Li now knows. When she found out, she sighed. It was that guy. The guy who forced the fish to wear this unknown bracelet. The character is not likable at all, and the good-looking face is wasted. Jin Li said with a bit of disgust, you're talking about Long Hao, isn't that the one who is tall and thin, pale, unbelievably beautiful, who doesn't like to talk or laugh? Wen Jiming thought this description sounded a bit strange, but it seemed that Ahau was really like that. He nodded, yes. Jin Li spread her hands, I know him, but we've only met once, so we don't know him well. Wen Jiming, huh? Seeing that he looked a little lost, Jin Li couldn't help but ask, what do you want to know? You can ask me. Maybe I will know. Wen Jiming smiled, it's nothing, I just want to know about his life. He briefly introduced his relationship with Long Hao to Jin Li. Jin Li understands. When I was a teenager, I went to treat a disease once, and my body has been fine since then. It seems that at that time, someone used their own life for Wen Jiming's life. Thinking about it this way, Jin Li didn't dislike Long Hao so much anymore, and even felt that this person was a little pitiful. No matter who he is, he bears another person's life on his own, and he is not bad if he does not collapse. He is destined to be unable to become a sunny and cheerful person, right? Jin Li thought for a while, and realized that what Long Hao was talking about was the National Security Department that ordinary people would not have access to, nor would they know at all. His job is indeed a bit special, Jin Li said. Looking at Wen Jiming's gaze, Jin Li said with a smile, but you don't need to worry about him, he is very powerful and will not encounter any danger. This is not to comfort Wen Jiming, but to be true. When I saw Long Hao that day, Jin Li sensed a powerful force from him. Among all the people Jin Li came to this world and met, no one else could bring him this feeling. Really, Wen Jiming breathed a sigh of relief and laughed. He obviously believed what Jin Li said, put his heart down, and said something to her by the way. For example, Long Hao has been alone since he was a child, he doesn't like to talk, and he doesn't have many friends. He is always worried that he is engaged in some dangerous work, but because he can't contact him often, he will be very worried. Jin Li felt that Wen Jiming was thinking too much. As far as she saw Long Hao, the whole person was like a sharp sword unsheathed, with an unstoppable edge. This kind of person, even if he is engaged in any dangerous work, should not worry about him, but his opponent. She was comforting Wen Jiming when Su Hexiang suddenly came over. She looked at Jin Li and Wen Jiming and said softly, my birthday is at the end of next month, you too, would you like to go to my birthday party? Jin Li was stunned for a moment, then laughed again, and pointed to himself, oh, am I also invited?